Hey, I'm Dusty.
And I'm Lori. And yes, we're going there.
Tough Topics is where we talk honestly about mental health. No fluff, no fake positivity.
Just real conversations, helpful tips, and the occasional awkward overshare.
Because let's be honest, we've all got stuff.
And you don't have to go through it alone.
This is Tough Topics, real talk to help you feel a little better, one episode at a time. Hi, and welcome back to Tough Topics. Today we are going to talk about self-compassion, which we feel like is so important and not one that we learn anywhere. Like I guess I don't feel like it's something that's graciously out there.
Right.
No, what do you think?
And I don't think it's like super well defined.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these mental health topics are getting more awareness on social media, but you hear, oh, self-compassion or just have compassion for yourself. And I guess I tend to think like, okay, that sounds good. How do I do that?
Yeah.
So,
or like some people maybe tend to see it like as a pass or like an excuse or something, and maybe that's what turns some of us off from it. Like maybe there's two schools, right? Like either I hold myself accountable or I'm just giving myself a pass, but it's not that.
right.
It's got to be somewhere in between.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think that's what's kind of hard about some of the, I don't know, I hate to say like psychology buzzwords because
Yeah.
self-compassion is very well researched.
Yeah.
But it is hard to kind of dial down and give practical examples, I guess. So that's what we're kind of here to do today is take some of the mystery out of what self-compassion actually means.
Nothing like us mystery decoders over here, right?
Mysterious.
We're so mysterious. Yeah. Well, what got me thinking about this? So I guess my logic maybe came backwards or like from the back door is I noticed how often I was telling myself, well, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Right. And I really started thinking, well, one, like once you start noticing it, then it's just everywhere. Right. Like I heard people saying similar like phrases like that so many times across the board. Right. Like I had a client once that was saying that he was driving to my office and there was like a motorcyclist that was driving really fast. And he said, well, I don't want to hear about it when he gets hit by a car and like dies. And it was like, oh crap. Right. Like, let's talk about compassion. Right. So there's that external piece. Right. And then how many times we do that internally and like, where does that come from?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and that's what you and I talked about as we were kind of like researching things, how many times you and I both say.
Yeah.
I think one of mine is always, an automatic thought for me is, well, I created this monster. So I have to suffer the consequences.
Sure.
And I think to speak to your point, that doesn't mean that I'm taking away all responsibility. Right. This isn't it's either 100% my fault or 100% not my fault. Yeah. It's what other information plays into each situation. Because I'll do that. I'm so narrow-minded and I take 100% of the fault and I'm self-critical and pragmatic and cognitive and what are the details of the situation. And I'm in this tunnel vision of I did this is my fault, this is my responsibility, that I have my blinders on and I'm blocking out other information that also pertains to that situation.
Right.
Like your example with your client, are motorcycles dangerous? Right. You could argue that they are.
Sure.
But does that mean when that person loses their life on a motorcycle that they like deserved it or asked for it or
it's the deservance factor, right? If it's your own damn fault, well, then you deserve a consequence.
Yes.
And I feel like it really eliminates the and, right?
Exactly.
So like what I think about, like think of like those of us that were raised in the 70s and 80s, right? I don't know if youngsters these days have this same dilemma, but I know us 70s and 80s kids did. I don't know how many times my mom would have said something along the lines of, don't touch the hot stove, don't, those old giant TVs, right?
Yes.
Like, don't mess with the TV. It's going to fall over, whatever. And of course, like being a 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever year old kid, I'm going to do the thing. Right. So then I touch the stove. Oh my gosh, my hand is burnt. I'm crying. And if my mom were to say, which she probably did, If she were sick, it's your own damn fault, meaning, therefore, you don't get any compassion.
Right.
You don't get any nurturance, right? Instead of learning, from a young age, if we would have, ideally, that, I touched the stove, if the parent in that case would have been able to hold the capacity that said, okay, there was the action, the consequences that her hand got burned. And she's a curious child that needs some compassion and some nurturance. Come over here. Let me give you a hug and a kiss, and I'll kiss your owie, and we'll put a Band-Aid on it. See how there's that and?
Yes.
But I know as an adult, I have no and.
Right.
And I don't think people do it either. Like in that example, you know?
Yeah. That's why I had to get it tattooed on my wrist.
That's such a
because
great
I
reminder.
struggle with that too.
Yeah.
And I think to your example, that also isn't taking away the importance of natural consequences, right?
Right.
I bet that 4-year-old little you wasn't going to touch the hot stove again.
Absolutely.
That's how you learned that lesson.
Yeah.
But in that moment, compassion was an appropriate response for a little girl who just burned herself on the stove.
Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So like how you were saying, you get those blinders on. That's so much accountability, so much responsibility, which there still is. As a 4-year-old, I probably thought, shoot, I shouldn't have touched that stove, right? Like lesson learned, hopefully. And I still need some compassion, right? Now, as adults, we're kind of responsible for giving ourselves that compassion. Hopefully we're not touching stoves, but I'm doing other dumb things.
Right.
Like a list, I'm sure, right? So like even like take like, let's say, okay, so I haven't been feeling super great for like the last month or so. And I didn't go to the gym. Well, I can feel in my clothes that I've gained a few pounds. Well, also, when I'm not feeling well, I really like to be self-indulgent. And I've gotten a latte every single day, just shamelessly, right? Getting a latte every day, full of calories and deliciousness. I've definitely not been careful with what I've been eating, all the things, right? So then when I put on, my favorite pair of jeans or something and they're tight, I go to, well, it's your own damn fault. You don't get to feel bad. You don't get to. Instead of saying, yes, it's true, I made some decisions there, right? That probably were not good for my waistline. And that sucks for me. And I wish I didn't,
So I wonder if that's a control part.
Okay.
Because I think, I know myself and my control freakiness, because that's the only thing that feels reasonable and safe, right? Is to always be in control.
Sure.
So I wonder, is that a control part? Like if I take all the blame and I take all the responsibility, does that give me a false sense of control?
Sure.
So if I'm the reason for the problem, then I can also be the reason for the solution.
So then it feels like it's within your control.
Right.
Right. Because we know, like, as children, so children that are raised in unhealthy environments, right, their locus of control is only internal, right? Because as a child, if some terrible things were happening to you or your parents are yelling or whatever, that you don't have the capacity to think something is wrong with my caregiver.
Right.
So then we identify, it must be me. And I could see how then that would be quickly developed in situations that if not only are you thinking that, but also it's being reinforced to you. Like, well, I told you not to do it. It's your fault. It's your problem.
Yeah.
I could see how it would be a control.
Exactly. Yeah.
With some criticism.
That's what I was going to say too. And I think another part would be that judgment. I have recently discovered, it's probably not news to anybody that knows me, but I have a very
like a little news thing right underneath our video. News alert. Lori just discovered.
My family's typing things in. And
here's this example. Okay, good. What's your new revelation?
Yes. That I do have a really strong judgmental part. And I think outwardly, I'm a very caring person, and I really can say that I don't judge a lot of things with other people, but I think that judgy part is really strong in me, and that I'm judging myself. And then of course that ripples out to other people and other relationships.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How could it not?
Of course. Right. But like you said, it stems from a place of safety, desiring, right? So if I can judge myself, one, it provides me a little bit of safety, and so that I'm not judged externally, which could be dangerous if you're in an abusive relationship, or it could be unsettling if your parents are mean, or whatever.
Yeah. And just hurtful.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
it's
And what that
hurtful.
does to a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I was really reflecting on that a lot. I think it's that critical part, it's that judgmental part. And so, yeah, I think too, again, it's just about, because, I always want to fast forward to, okay, what do I do about it? How do I, you're
I
good
like
about
that place. Yeah.
You're good about the creating awareness. And I'm like, I'm aware.
So
How do I fix it?
am I avoidant? We're just aware. We don't have to do anything. Probably. Yeah. But you're like ready to do. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to be on the other side of doing.
Agreed.
I don't want to do the do. I want it to be done.
I do feel that. Yeah.
It's the process in between that's hard.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's maybe just, like we're talking about, like noticing those critical thoughts, noticing that self-blame, but then being able to kind of step back and press pause and think about what else might be true. Like, those blinders that I have on, okay, if I remove those and I can sit with this for a second, what other people, what other resources, what other situations come into play? Yeah. Because like you said, as a child, that's conditioned into you. Yeah. It's a survival skill. It's I wrote this down, Maya Angelou's quote. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. So that means we're all now learning about self-compassion.
And now we're going to
do better. Let's start practicing it.
Yeah. I do like how you say it gives, if you can just take the space to kind of notice those other things, right? And also notice what comes up in you, right? So today specifically self-compassion, right, is internal, obviously about ourselves. But this can show up in so many ways, right? So like if we think of the drama triangle, right, we have persecutor, rescuer, and victim. So I know in myself when someone comes to me as a victim, which would fall into the it's your own damn fault, right?
Right.
I tend to want to go to rescue, right? Because that triggers that part of me, right? So like, so my mom is an example, right? Things are a little challenging with my mom generally. And right now her health has just gotten increasingly bad. She's in a care facility. And she has lots of time on her hands and lots of little texting fingers, right? And she will text me crazy things, right? And there sometimes is a part of me that says, well, it's her own damn fault, right? Like, I mean, she's where she is because of her life choices, right? But then there's another part of me that says, I should help her, right? I should swoop in. So then I go from like persecutor to rescuer, right?
But then my question for you would be, what is helping? What is helpful in that situation? Is rescuing her unhelpful?
Unhelpful for sure.
So what would be helpful?
So if we use
validating,
right, like,
understanding,
isn't it kind of what we're talking about, right? Where if I just were able to stay in the, okay, this could be her own fault. This is a consequence of her choices.
Yeah.
And it must be really hard for her. Right. And that's it.
Instead
of
period.
Saying, and it must be really hard for her, so I better make a special trip down there and I'll buy her special treats, blah, 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 which is where I tend to go, right? But if we just really focus on the and compassion, like it's a formula, right?
Right. It is a formula.
That's all we need, right?
But then that leads me back to your example of not feeling well and gaining a couple pounds. So you were just talking about that in the context of your mom, like, this must be really hard. I should go buy her favorite treats.
Do you see how that lines up?
Yes.
Well, and now we know that Dusty does treats when she's not feeling
hey, that's okay.
Right.
Maybe those treats, when you're not feeling well, is your way of showing yourself some compassion. Maybe that is your way of taking care of yourself.
Absolutely, right? We don't want to remove the things that we do along the way, right?
Right.
It's just when my critical or control part raises its head and says, well, fatty, now you can't wear your jeans and it's your own damn fault and you're terrible and you're disgusting and you shouldn't have had those lattes, blah, blah, blah. That's where I need to be able to take some space and be like, okay, those things were true. And in the moment, maybe I felt like they were self-care. And it does suck to not be able to wear your favorite jeans today. And stop there.
So how do you think that trickles out to other people? Because I'm going to be real honest and real vulnerable here. When I have those intrusive thoughts about myself, I do have them about other people.
Okay.
And I do get maybe it is my persecutor part. Like, figure it out. you did this to yourself is
Yeah.
what I want. That's not what I say, but that is what I want to say,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
And I saw a meme a couple weeks ago that said something about when you get angry or like activated about those type of things, when people are asking you for help or something, it's the part of you that had to always figure things out on your own.
Sure.
That's angry that other people can't just figure things out.
Absolutely.
Well, I had to do it. I had to solve that. I had to figure it out on my own.
Figure it out, right.
Therefore, you should too.
Yeah.
But that's not very compassionate.
It's not, but is there somewhere in the middle, right? So I am sure there's no research. There might be research about this that I don't know, but I am sure that if we start with giving ourselves that compassion, it's going to filter out into others, right? But otherwise it's a vicious cycle, because then the more harsh I feel on others, well, I'm going to feel more harsh on myself, because how am I going to just say that person, it's their own fault, blah, blah, blah. And then it's not me. Like, then I feel hypocritical.
Loop. It's a feedback loop that just keeps going.
So it'll go the other way too.
Yeah,
right?
It will.
So if we can just take the space to say, okay, this is true. I did have a latte every day, right? And now I feel kind of bummed, right? Or the same thing. Let's say someone else were to complain to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't do blah blah blah." Let's say a client comes in, "Oh, I didn't do, my meditation or my exercises that you gave me, and I've just been really down this week." Even if internally I'm thinking, "Well, what the hell?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I approach it with compassion and be like, "Well, I mean, that sounds like you're really suffering today. That's a hard spot to be."
And that is one of the things that the self-compassion research shows. Like, I think we mentioned last time that Dr. Kristen Neff is the researcher, and she identifies 3 pillars of self-compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, I'm always the one that's like, okay, what exactly does that mean? How do I apply that? And the first pillar that she talks about is self-kindness.
Yeah.
Being kind to yourself, supportive to yourself instead of angry and critical.
Yeah.
And think about it like, what would you say to a good friend who is going in the same situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're talking about not feeling well and getting a latte every day, I would do the same thing. I would do it, then my jeans would be too tight, then I'd be beating myself up.
Absolutely.
But I'm absolutely not going to say that to you as my friend Dusty that I care about. Of
course.
I'm going to say, that's honestly probably what you really needed.
Yeah.
That was your way of showing your self-kindness.
Like you did.
Well,
yeah.
Why can't I?
Right.
Right? So it's just
There's
a matter
the
of
thing.
turning that back inward.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
It's the hard part because we're so wired to the contrary, right? Like I imagine growing up, that would have been self-indulgent, or that would have been, I don't know, something negative, right? Because you were supposed to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, figure it out. Like there was no room for this, like whatever. Even in today's world, how much grief do you hear from people like our age talking about how parents parent their children? Oh, this gentle parenting, he needs a good swat on his ass. He doesn't need to talk about his feelings, right? Like, I mean, you hear it, right?
Yeah.
But what's that wiring in our brain is that we don't get to have any compassion.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, it's on a spectrum and trying to find somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Because also, when it comes to parenting, kids need boundaries and structure and discipline,
Absolutely.
right? So it's
Absolutely.
It's finding somewhat of a balance in there.
Right. Because like take the whole not fitting in fine jeans thing, right? I think the fear, well, what just comes up for me as you say that would be the fear for me is if I'm not critical of myself, oh my gosh, then I'm just going to go rogue. I'm just going to drink lattes 7 times a day and eat pastries 12 times. And I'm going to weigh 500 pounds. And then I'll just, get diabetes and I'll probably be on my 600-pound life. And then no one's going to love me. Right. So in my mind, I think that I've equated not holding compassion and judging or being critical or whatever as keeping me in check.
Right.
But I think mentally it's doing the opposite.
Right.
Right.
And I've worked with a lot of clients over the years who've had disordered eating type behaviors, whatever end of the spectrum that they're on. And one thing I've always said is nobody's ever shamed themselves into behavior change.
Good point.
Nobody has ever shamed themselves into behavior change. But I think what we're talking about, that's exactly what you and I are trying to do. You're trying to shame yourself about the lattes into behavior change.
Yeah.
Because if I don't change my behaviors, I'm going to end up on 600-pound life and no one's going to love me anymore.
Although everybody on that show has a significant other.
right?
They really
should.
They should. Absolutely. They're totally deserving of love and someone to go get their sweet treats for them. But yeah, they always have somebody that loves them. So as they should.
So that leads me to the second pillar of self-compassion, which is common humanity, right? We all have hard times. We all do this. We all have suffered.
Absolutely.
Another thing I'll say is that I truly believe that trauma is the human thread that makes us more alike than different, right?
Yeah.
We find me one person who hasn't had struggles or challenges, and if you find me that person, they're lying.
That's right. Then they're liars.
Yeah,
which is a whole different struggle.
Right, exactly. Whole different episode.
Sociopath. Yeah. So just bring them on over.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, it's common. It's just part of being human, and we all share that.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Yeah. And then the last one that she talks about is mindfulness, just kind of what we talked about. Noticing those thoughts, feelings, honestly, not avoiding them and not embellishing them or blowing them out of proportion.
Not judging them.
Not judging them.
Yeah.
Just noticing them.
I sometimes tell my clients to fishbowl them, right? Like imagine
when you
have
say
like
that.
a fishbowl.
I love when you say that.
I should market that. Wow.
You should.
Don't copyright that, anybody. I'm sure it's genius, right? But yeah, like a fishbowl, like it's clear. It can be out here. You can look at it around. You can just look. We're just looking at it, right? Instead of being here. I think that can be helpful. Get some space.
Right. Get some space. The 30,000-foot view from it. You have a different perspective there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think, as I was reflecting on this, a couple of things that I would add to this self-compassion model, I guess, for lack of a better word, is faith. Like faith in whatever your belief is. Faith in a higher power, faith in God, faith in knowing that there's just something bigger than us out there. I think helps with that compassion and helps with that mindfulness piece. And then also looking for like the meaning. And this is the existential therapy stuff that I love. Not like, oh, everything happens for a reason, because I think that's very cliche and invalidating. But maybe find the meaning in this hard time, or like what lesson can I take away from this? Not invalidating the hard. This is really hard. This situation is really hard. And what lesson or what meaning can I take away from it?
Right.
That's difficult.
It's so difficult, right? And it's also difficult to not get caught up in the loop of, what if I'm repeating the same lesson because I'm failed, right? Like I failed to learn the lesson the first time, right? So I have to learn another. No, it's having the space to see it from like a kaleidoscope lens, right? We're seeing this piece of it right now. Okay, I can see another piece of it next time, right? Allowing yourself to have faith, that, right? That is faith, right? That there is multiple facets going on at the same time. Yeah, of something, yeah. I was just thinking when you said, like, we would never say that to our friend. You know what I mean? I would never be like, oh, my God, Lori, stop drinking your lattes, right? You're getting fat, right? Like, we would never say it, but I totally say that to myself. One little trick that I do, so you get on my phone, you guys won't be able to see this, but I have a picture of me when I was a little kid.
Oh.
And
doesn't it just make you cry?
Maybe I'm not that nice. I mean, I'm a cutie patootie. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not that nice. But it helps me remember to not that I wouldn't talk like that to my, like if I have a grandchild that comes over and touches the stove, I'm not going to be like, well, you dumbass, I told you not to touch the stove, right? But I would do that to myself. So it's a good visual. Now, for some people, that's too close. They're not in a place yet where they can extend compassion to their younger self. So I would encourage them to find something that they can. It might be a picture of their dog, or when their dog was a puppy. It might be their favorite character on a TV show or whatever. And then just save it as like your screensaver or lock screen or whatever. And then start practicing compassion.
I love that.
Right? So every time I want to go to, well, it's my own damn fault. Am I really going to look at my cutie patootie little face and be like, it's your own damn fault? No. I would be like, oh, sweetheart. Like,
right. We can't even imagine doing that. That's heartbreaking to think about doing that.
Right. We wouldn't. Right. We know better now. Like you said, we could try to do better. Yeah. Now I have this book I'll show real quick. It's called Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. I think it's amazing. It is really about self-acceptance. It says believing that something is wrong with us is a deep and tenacious suffering. And I think that really highlights so well of how all of this that we've talked about today really does encompass there's something wrong with me, right? It's my own fault. I'm defective. I wasn't smart enough. I was whatever. I think this book is really great. I have it on Audible. She has a slight Buddhist lens. So for some people that might turn them away. I found it to be super interesting. Like I love that little another perspective on it. Radical acceptance. It's about it's about self-acceptance, but that really goes hand in hand with the compassion. You can't really accept all of yourself without having some compassion for yourself.
Right. Right. And again, how that trickles into other relationships and how that maybe softens your relationship with other people. Yeah. It's got to start with you.
Absolutely.
So that's our homework assignment maybe for this time. We're going to do another episode next time on more compassion, self-compassion related things, because really this could just go on and on and on.
It could.
But do one thing between now and a month from now that is you taking care of you being gentle with yourself, you showing yourself some compassion.
Yeah.
And again, that first step is the awareness. It's to notice those critical, self-critical thoughts, that judgy, critical part within you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be something ever so slight, but just notice it, right? Like we're just noticing that that's what happened in that moment, or when it didn't happen, like I don't even know, like insignificant things, like I love ice cream, but my belly doesn't always love ice cream, right? But I'm going to eat ice cream, and then I'm going to be upset, have an upset belly at night, and I'll be like, oh, it's my own fault. I shouldn't have eaten ice cream. No. I wanted ice cream and I really loved it, and now my belly hurts.
Right. There's the end.
There's the end. And it was a great moment with with my kids or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can be any little moment.
Any little moment. Yeah. But the first step is noticing.
Absolutely. So, did you realize that almost all of my examples were around food today? I'm not even hungry. That just happened?
But I think food can be such a tangible, obvious example for these things.
There's a concrete reason. There's a concrete consequence, right? Either your jeans don't fit, right. So that makes sense.
I have zero concerns about that as someone who used to work with eating disorders. I think
good.
I think food is just a very obvious, tangible example.
It really is, right? You guys will probably come up with more tangible examples, and you can let us know.
Yeah.
By the time we get together next month, we'll have some other ideas too.
Yeah. Drop us a comment. Where are we? We're on Instagram,
Facebook.
YouTube.
What are the social platforms?
I don't know.
We are YouTube. Yeah. Apple Music. We're on all the things except TikTok.
But we're gonna maybe before next time. We're gonna get this will be interesting.
So that's where I'm gonna have to really practice self-compassion. Okay, so full disclosure, now I know where I'm on tangent. I don't even watch these back, because it's so hard for me to hold self-compassion for anything that I see that I don't like. Oh, I was too fidgety. Oh, I did this or whatever. So doing a TikTok has me way out of my comfort zone.
Me too.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That would be a huge test.
Well, maybe we'll at least make one, but we don't have to publicize it or whatever, post it or whatever.
Like a red carpet screening or anything. We just be like, well, we did this thing that will never see the light of day. We could do that. Okay. All right. Anyway, you guys know where to find us. If you need something, you can always message us, text us, call us, whatever. Let us know what you think, other ideas, ways that self-compassion does or doesn't show up for you over the next month.
Yeah.
And then we will follow this up next month, see what happens.
Yeah. Sounds good. Go show yourself some compassion.
That's right. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Before we go, don't forget to connect with us on social.
We're on Instagram and Facebook at Tough Topics. That's TUFFTOPIX.
Follow, like, share, all that good stuff, and let us know what topics you want us to cover next.
Because real talk doesn't stop here. It keeps going in the comments.